Welcome. In front of me is a Huawei Pura 7D, and today I will show you how you can go through the setup process of this phone. Now, when you put it up for the very first time, you should be presented with the same screen that you can see for me. Now, in here we do have these kind of garbage design bubbles, so find the language that you want to use from these bubbles, and then select Get Started. Next, choose your region, and select that you have agreed and read the terms and conditions. So just press right here. And the next option, we have insertion of SIM card. Now this step right here is for you to either insert a SIM card so you have mobile network. Obviously you will be most likely inserting a SIM card in here, but you don't need to do it right now. This is just optional. And other option that you can do is connect to Wi-Fi. Both of those show out throughout the setup process, as these are two different ways for you to connect to network, and therefore also later on be able to sign in to your Huawei account if you want to. I'll be skipping both. So here we have one, and oh, never mind. Just Huawei decided to show me a middle finger, and looks like I am forced to basically give away my rights and data because I cannot set up the device without connecting to network. Thanks, Huawei. I love feeling so secure that I cannot go through the setup without giving away my location, positioning, networks, and all that stuff. Thanks. Up yours too. Creepy ass company. Okay, so I guess you do need to insert a SIM card or connect to network, as this dogshit company won't let you set up their devices without doing so. But I am ragging on it, but let's be honest, they're not the only one. Samsung is another piece of shit company that does that, though Samsung has even less reason to do it. Great, I love current times. Anyway, here we have data and privacy, which you have none of. Don't even bother reading this because it's all bullshit anyway. So we can just go to the next page. Device protection. Now, here you can select some kind of fingerprint, face recognition, or PIN pattern or password. Now, this is also optional, unlike connecting to network for some reason. So you can select it if you want to. If you don't, you can skip it. Now, one more thing to keep in mind is if you're planning to use fingerprint or face recognition, you will be required to select PIN pattern or password. Now, the reason for that is if something would happen to your biometrics, your face or your finger, you would just straight up lose access to your device. So thus, that leaves you with the PIN pattern or password as the secondary way of unlocking your device. That obviously isn't subject to change. Now, I'll be skipping this, so let's select setup later. Next, we have some Huawei ID. So your Huawei ID is an account you use to access all of Huawei's cloud services. Cool. Now, obviously, Huawei ID on Huawei is equivalent to something like the Apple accounts for iPhones. So you do get access to their cloud backups and also their app gallery, which is where all the applications are. So it might be beneficial for you to use this. Otherwise, your getting applications is a little bit more cumbersome. APKs still work on this device. You can transfer them over from an old Android device as well. But like I said, for everyone that is going to be daily driving this, probably setting up an account is the go-to option, as it's going to make it much easier. And it's not like you have any privacy anyway. Anyway, moving on to the next page. We have the Huawei ID login page. Now, one thing that I want to mention is we do have the option to skip this, but it's hidden. So to skip, you would have to go here, don't have a Huawei ID or forget your password, and then you can select maybe later. It's an option that should be visible on the same page, as it's not obligatory and not be hidden in the subtext basically. So here they also do the same thing that Samsung does, which is basically skip out on all this. So they're phrasing it differently. They have cloud, find my device, app gallery, Huawei wallet, Huawei videos, and Huawei music. Anyway, maybe later. I said maybe later. There we go. Now, next we have some HMS care or core. Not exactly sure what that is. You can go over this and just check it out. One thing that already kind of jumps out at me is the Add ID statistics. So basically That's one, and the personalized ads is the other one. That's the most dog shit, like intrusive shit that you can have. So personalized ads is basically using the device what you search for, meaning your search isn't private anymore, and what you talk about, meaning you can't really talk around your phone without the phone listening to you. So yeah, I'm gonna just select no thanks, disable. You don't need to give me personalized ads, and you don't need to gather the data on that either. So there we go. I do recommend turning both of those off. Let's be honest, none of us really care about the ads that we get. What we care about is not having them at all. So I personally like to make it as least efficient process for this enshittification of all the services as possible. And by doing so, the only thing that I can do here is basically disable it. So they will still be showing up ads, but they won't be tailored to what I search for, meaning that some companies that just want to enshittify everything are just going to be wasting money displaying ads that I have totally no interest in, which that would be kind of all the ads. But I just find it creepy where it displays ads based on what I have been searching recently for. Anyway, moving on to the next page, we have enhanced services. Not very rich. I'm just gonna say no thanks. User experience improvements. Now, that being said, you can go over all of these, read exactly what kind of bogus this is, and join it or just select later. Now, I do want to point out one hilarious thing. By the two options that we have right here, none of them are actually stating that you don't want this. You either will get it later or you get it now, which is just a kind of a loophole if you look at it from this perspective. So I'm going to select later, and later doesn't really explain what the time frame here is. Share analytics, again, enable or later, which implies that it's going to be enabled later. Location services, same thing. Keep your software up to date, update manually, or you can do it automatically. That's completely up to you. And then we have data import. So this will be for people that are using Huawei devices or were using them in previous on previous device and created a backup of it. From here you can basically restore it with that. Now that's one way. The other way would be to use the Huawei phone clone, I think they have, which allows you to connect the two devices together and then select what you want to move over. And this application is actually available basically on every phone, meaning Android device. I'm not sure if it's available on Apple, though it's not available on the Google Play Store. You have to go to the Huawei website and download it from there. So because of the ban, the application that you will find in the Play Store is outdated and does not work. So if you have like a, I don't know, maybe some kind of Sony phone, like I have one laying around here, and you want to move over the data from this device to your new phone, you will need to go to the Huawei website and download the newest version of their phone clone from there. Now, you obviously also have the option to set it up as a new device. And then we have navigation style, so we have gesture navigation or the button navigation. Now you can change the navigation method right here. By default, it opts into gestures. So I'm going to select finish. And apparently finishing doesn't finish it because it also wants to give you the enshittification of services, meaning all these garbage applications that it wants to install automatically by pressing next. Yeah, no, I'm going to deselect all of it. So the first click is selecting all of it, which already kind of was selecting all of it. So anyway, I'm going to deselect all of it and then select next. I may receive app recommendations. Please don't. Try now. And there we go. Here is our home screen after a extensive setup. So, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.